Affordable. Very, very
Yeah.
affordable. Karamihan ng dumating dito within a year. May bahay. Very welcoming ng 70s because they need us.
Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. I'm so excited about this episode. I've been wanting to interview, to chat with somebody who's been in Canada or who arrived in Canada in the 70s. Finally, nakahanap ako ng makakausap. Basically, almost 50 years na siya nandito. Curious ba kayo, katulad ko, no? Kung paano ba ang buhay ng mga immigrants in the 70s? Ayan, makakakwentuhan natin. Si Tita Virginia Tang, our friend who is based in the Grand Prairie, Grand Prairies ba, Tita? Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie.
Oh, Grand Prairie in Alberta.
Alberta.
Welcome to In a Nutshell, Tita Virgie, and thank you
you.
so much.
Thanks for reaching out.
Okay, o tita, sige umpisahan natin ano. Dami na alam ko si Tita Virgie, very ano siya, passionate magkwento kaya umpisahan ko na. So when did you arrive in Canada and what brought you to Canada?
I married a guy who was working here already.
Oh,
Dumating ako ng 76.
okay.
Dumating siya rito ng early 75.
Oh, pero you guys were together already before you both came
Magnobyo
here.
kami. Mag-boyfriend pa lang kami sa Pilipinas. Alam mo naman sa Pilipinas, hindi ba? Sa istriktohan, hindi ka papayagan ng nanay mo na aalis kasama ng boyfriend mo kung hindi kayo kasal, correct?
Yeah.
During my time anyway.
Okay,
You know?
yeah. I see. So why did you guys both decide to move to Canada?
We would have had a choice to go to Hawaii because
okay.
my husband was offered a job. He graduated from University of Hawaii under the Rockefeller scholarship and all that.
Okay.
Pero at that time, merong drafting. Tingin mo ng 18, ang anak mong lalaki, magsusundalo na. Canada does not have that.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the biggest deciding factor.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You were looking ahead, no? Kasi how old, may child na po kayo ba nung lumipat kayo ng Canada?
Wala.
Ah, wala pa.
Bagong kasal lang kami.
Okay.
Kinasal kami ng January. I followed in April.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
Kasi
apart from that, what else, tita?
Majority, that's the one, you know. Kasi academically, honored ang PhD ng husband ko dito. He was given a certified teaching certificate right away.
Okay. But
And that, yeah.
oh, but what was life back in the Philippines, ba, tita? What can you give us kind of
Martial law, kaya kami umalis.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you wanted to get out during the martial law period.
Yes.
Tapos, what was your pathway, tita, to Canada?
Sponsorship.
But your husband, how did he get here? Direct
Independent.
hire, landed PR, paano po ba yun?
Landed PR siya.
Okay. Ano yung proseso ng 70s, tita? Paano nag-a-apply?
Madali lang sa kanya eh. Kasi graduate siya sa overseas, right? Tapos nung inilagay niya na meron siyang knowledge of French, alam mo ang ginawa? Pinagbasa talaga siya ng French.
Oh, okay. In person pa yun, I would assume. Yung mga
yeah, kasi bilingual lang Canada eh.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Pero ako ang pinahirapan nung in-sponsor niya ako.
Bakit? Paano?
Di report for interview, no? Dala-dala ko lahat. Bring documents. Dala-dala ko isang binder na ganyan na lahat ng letters namin, blah, blah, blah. Tapos sabi ba naman ng officer sa akin, I'm not really interested in that. That can be manufactured and all that.
Right.
Tapos sasabihin pa niya, sinungaling ako, no? Ginawa ko, tumayo ako, binagsak ko yung binder. You know what? Sabi ko, I don't care. If you don't want me in your country, I'm going to Australia.
All right.
Kaya sabi ko, ang sabi ko, hindi pwede, sabi ko sa kanya. Hindi ko, sabi ko, I am going because my husband is calling me. Wants me to get together. And if you are telling me, sabi ko, that all of this paperwork is manufactured, I don't need people who doubts me.
What was in the binder, tita, by the way?
Lahat ng cards ni Ken, lahat ng lahat ng mga,
Right.
evidence daw na relationship eh.
Yeah.
At that time, wala pang mga text ng ganun-ganun. Puro lang ang tawag dito, mail.
Love letter, mail,
Love
ganyan.
letter. So, nandun lahat yung love letter, yung mga picture, yung mga lahat. Wedding dinala ko yung buong wedding picture namin. It is very interesting,
Right.
But it's also, at that point, makikita mo, malakas hindi ko maintindihan kung racism or whatever. Or, baka tinatakot lang niya ako kasi uso yung mga mail order bride.
Oh, at that time talaga?
Oh, yeah, uso na yun.
I see.
Ngayon din uso eh. Pero at that time, ngayon din uso yun eh. Pero at that time, I point blank told him that because at that time I was already working for international companies sa Filipinas. It is an Australian oil and gas company.
Right.
So my company in Australia wants me to go to Melbourne on an exchange secretary. Yung para maranasan ng Melbourne secretary namin ang buhay ng Pilipinas, palit kami.
Oh, okay. Ang title, ang position mo nun, tita, sabi mo sa akin, you were an executive secretary for that Australian company. Right. Okay.
Prior to that, I worked for Benguet Mining, which is an American company. So I worked for international companies.
Well, it's good, obviously. Things went well doon sa inyong spousal sponsorship kahit talagang natarayan nyo kahit paano yung immigration officer. Okay, tell us about your early days in Canada. Do you still remember yung pagdating mo dito? How was it?
Culture shock.
Okay.
Because I came from Manila, which has tall buildings and all that. And I landed in Greward, Alberta, which is off-site from High Prairie. Wala kami Grand Prairie yun, off-site. So my husband worked for Alberta Vocational College. He was the director of instruction.
Oh. Yung town ninyo, tita, very small town. Tama ba? Can you describe the town you initially lived at noon?
Karamihan hamlet, karamihan reserve.
Oh, okay. Puro mga native,
Oh yeah, Aboriginal.
Yeah, Aboriginals. All right. Yeah. Okay.
So, ang doon is, nung dumating ako doon, baku-baku yung kalye, everything. It's a shock, I'm so used to, I'm so used to high rise and kotse dito, kotse. You know how it is in Manila. So, pagdating ko doon, baku-baku yung kalye. We lived in the churches, and then I couldn't work right away.
Oh, why not? What happened?
They gave priority to the natives there, yung local girls, no? Pero sabihan ang husband ko na, I hope your wife is not going to, yung ganon. So anyway, nagipit sila kasi budget time, no?
Okay.
And they needed to come out with their budget. Alam mo tayong Pilipino, mahusay tayong magmakinilya. Pag sinabi mong executive secretary ka, magagawa mo yung budget from computing to everything. Pag sinabi mong you come out with a report, a trained executive secretary will say, okay, here's your report. Hindi lang 5 page yan. From the beginning, cover letter to the end, you hand a whole package, nice thing. That's how we are trained in the Philippines.
Okay. So what do you mean, tita? What happened then? What was your role?
Wala silang makuhang makakagawa ng ganun.
Oh, so dun ka tinap. At
ang ginawa nila, kinausap ang husband ko. Sabi nila, if your wife doesn't do this, we will not get the budget on this time and da. You know? So sabi ng husband ko, sige na nga, magtrabaho ko na nga.
Oh, all right. So what was your first job? And how long before you landed that job when they needed you for it?
No, I just worked for them for the budget.
Okay.
And then I started substituting for their secretarial classes.
Classes? What do you mean classes?
Kasi Alberta Vocational College, no? So,
Oh.
meron silang office administration course.
Nagturo
Meron
ka
silang-
nila?
Ha?
Nagturo ka?
Substitute.
Yeah, okay. That's nice.
Kunwari, yung mga teachers nila needed a three-day period so that they can do the report cards or whatever. They call me in for 3 days to do a workshop.
Mhm.
Tuwan-tuwa naman ako kasi 3 days lang, babalik naman. And I just walked to the college across the house.
Right.
So I taught courses like boss-secretary relationship, how to prepare a good report, editing, lahat. Kasi sa atin sa Pilipinas, that's normal. I used to do this, by the way, before I left the Philippines. I was an executive secretary and I was also a trainer.
I see. So perfect ka talaga dun sa mga ginawa mo, no? Na
Yung
tasks.
napasok ko, yun na, I was able to equate it to a certain point.
Right. Okay. O Tita, tell us a bit more naman. Generally speaking, how was life back then, especially for newcomers? Kasi ako, meron din ako mga tita-tita, no? And they had very interesting stories to share.
Oh,
They would
yeah.
tell me, sobrang dali daw maghanap ng trabaho. Yeah, can you
Correct.
tell us more about that?
Pero, karamihan, ang nakukuha mong trabaho, hindi yung pinag-aralan mo. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, okay.
There are lots of teachers that came here, pero they still had to do an upgrading teacher's certificate and the whole thing. So, yung mga teachers, kasi bakasyon sila ng 2 months or something, they use that vacation to go back to school,
I
to
see.
get
Okay.
further education, to
Uh-huh.
get all that. Meron akong friend who arrived there. Now she's a PhD. She's in her 80s. She managed to get her PhD. Yung mga nurses dadating dito, hindi sila registered nurse.
Mhm.
So they needed to review and study and take the board exam.
All right. At that time, tita, yung mga Pilipinong dumarating mostly, are you saying teachers and nurses or iba-iba rin? Do you still remember anong mga profile, kumbaga, ng mga
Iba-iba.
Pilipinong dumarating?
Pero karamihan teachers and nurses.
Oo.
Nung
Okay.
nasa High Prairie ako lang ang hindi teacher at hindi nurse. Lahat sila nurses.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Meron akong narinig dati na story, Tita Virgie. Tell me if this is true, ha? Kasi sabi ko, totoo ba yun? Pag minsan daw, yung dumarating during that time, sa airport pa lang daw, meron ng mga parang nag-aalok ng trabaho sa mga
Correct.
bagong dating. Totoo ba yun?
Oo, may nag-aalok pero dadaling ka sa rural area.
Oh, paano nag-aalok, tita? Paano yun? May sasalubong sa'yo? May mga banners ba? Paano yun?
I don't know if it's true. I don't know the reality because I have never been doing that. Pero
Okay.
karamihan ng mga teachers dumadating dito hindi sa big cities. Okay? In
Okay.
smaller areas kasi wala silang makuha na magtuturo doon.
I see. And then they were brought to those rural areas through that. Some of them, yung parang sa airport pa lang, ay, dito ka magpunta, gano'n?
Hindi ko alam kung sa airport pa lang nangyari doon.
Okay.
I don't really know how kasi I don't have the first-hand experience but alam ko na karamihan ng teachers sa rural area nag-start.
Kamusta naman yung Filipino community nun? Sabi mo, no, mga teachers, ganyan. Pero marami po ba compared to the other nationalities yung galing sa ibang bansa? Kamusta yung Filipino community in the 70s?
Sa Grand Prairie?
Yeah, and other places maybe
Nung
you
bagong
may have
dating
visited.
ako sa High Prairie,
Mhm.
magandang community namin. Pero we were enough to just meet in someone's house.
I see.
And we're enough na lahat kami magkukumare.
Oo.
Very, 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 very close. You know, there is such a thing that nung nanganak ako dun sa anak kong panganay, I have nurses check on me every hour. Ang ganda ng ko. The support is there.
Everybody
Very
were
good.
friends with each other, is what
Oh,
you're saying.
yes.
Alright.
And up to now, yung mga kasamahan ko sa High Prairie, nagkanya-kanya na kami. May isa nagpunta lumipat ng BC. Yung isa, may bahay siya sa High Prairie, nandito yung mga anak niya, pag ganyan-ganyan na lang siya. Ganon. Yung isa, she moved to BC too, so Nanaimo, and she owned a nursing home, hanggang sa nag-retire siya, jet lagger na ano nga yan, ano tawag dito, yung mga kung saan nagpupunta, mamaya nasa Florida, na, you know, things like that. But we still keep in touch, thanks for Facebook.
Right. Oo nga. How was the cost of living naman at that time, Tita? 70s, 80s, kasi alam mo naman ngayon, isa po yan sa mga common complaints, no, na napakataas na raw ng cost of living ngayon.
Nung bagong
Back then,
dating ako dito,
Oh.
kaya yata tumaba ako eh. One bag of cherries was only 10 cents yata a pound. 15 cents a pound.
Kung i-compare dun sa pasweldo, Tita, kamusta? Okay naman? Yung,
very affordable. Very, very affordable.
Really?
To the point where karamihan ng dumating dito within a year, may bahay.
Oh, nice. Ang ganda naman. Talaga?
Magaan. I mean, depende sa'yo, ha? Kung gusto mong malustay ka, depende sa'yo, how you know, sabi nga ng husband ko noon, mamumulubi ka sa sale. I mean, you know, you have to, you have a choice. Yeah, na ano, once a month, we drive, kasi nga, Greward is small community. Once a month, we go drive to Edmonton.
I see. Oo.
Nandun ang Filipino store, nandun yung mga malalaking store, nandun. So pagbalik namin sa Greward, punong-puno yung sasakyan ng pagkain.
Yeah. Did you ever consider moving to a busier city? Kasi so guys, no, dito na si Tita sa Grand Prairie, nanatili talaga from the original town that you mentioned, no?
Now, from High Prairie, we moved to Grand Prairie for the kids. Grade 4 and grade 6 yung mga bata.
Okay.
There was only one piano teacher. Kulang lang yung simulation yung mga bata.
I see. Okay. Did you ever consider moving to the bigger cities, yung mga ganon? No na? Oh, happy na kayo dyan. Oh, what do you like best about living there?
I can drive all over the place here.
Mm-hmm.
I know my neighbors. I always describe Grand Prairie as a city with a small town mentality.
Oh, okay. I've never been there. No? By the way, guys, si Tita Virgie is a very active member. I'll put up the Facebook page, Tita, of the Filipino community there.
Filipino Association of Grand Prairie? FAGPA,
yes.
Yes.
No? Filipino Association of Grand Prairie
and
area. Yeah, very active si Tita Virgie dito. Ano ka ba ngayon dito? Anong position mo ngayon, Tita?
Advisor.
And alam niyo ba, one of the more interesting projects pala nitong FAGPA, how do you, tama ba yung acronym ko dito?
FAGPA.
Okay. FAGPA. Okay.
Yes.
Is you have a school at si Tita Virgie ang basically main person managing it. Can you tell us about this Filipino language school?
Filipino Language and Culture School.
Okay. Sinong target enrollees niyo doon, Tita? Anong ginagawa bali?
Karamihan ng mga, this year, ang tinanggap lang namin is from grade 3 to grade 12.
Okay.
We are essentially a satellite school of Saranay. Mahirap magtayo ng ikaw lang mag-isa.
Right.
Okay? We are accredited with Alberta Education. Yung grade 11, yung high school namin, they can earn option courses, 3 credit option courses towards their grade 10, 11, 12 option courses. Okay? And so, it's nice. We only meet every Sunday, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So, what we do is 1 o'clock to 1:30, all the kids meet in the gym for flag ceremony. You know, ang mga target namin, as most of our kids were born here. Some were born in the Philippines, pero pagdating dito, nawala na yung Philippine culture. Pagdating dito, nawala na yung language ba? Wala. So, when we started, I gave the kids a pep talk. Sabi ko, you can call me Tita Virgie, Lola Virgie, Mrs. Tang, but I do not expect you to call me Virgie or Virginia.
Kasi dito usually may ganung tendency, right?
Yeah. Because, Filipino culture trait, respect.
Yeah, what a
So,
nice advocacy, no? Oo, at least nakakatulong to preserve the Filipino culture, especially amongst those who were, born here na.
yes.
Mas mahirap kasi talaga mag-instill ng values, no? And especially speaking the language, I think.
Yeah, we don't aim for them to be fluent, okay?
Right. Okay.
But we aim for them to respect the culture, okay?
Mhm.
We aim for them to be able to introduce themselves.
Okay, now moving forward, no, guys, alam niyo ba si Tita Virgie is also an RCIC. She's also an immigration consultant, but I'm not here to talk about immigration policy with her. I'm curious, Tita Virgie, about your sentiments dito sa tawag dito, growing anti-immigrant sentiments nowadays, no? Nung 70s ba, can you compare it nung 70s?
Wala nung 70s.
Were they very welcoming? Talagang
Very
encouraging?
welcoming.
Can you describe to us? Oo.
Very welcoming nung 70s because they need us, right?
Hmm.
Meron ding in some areas, meron ding racial, some areas are redneck, okay?
Uh-huh.
Pero it's up to you na na tao kung how do you address it, okay? It's up to you. It's because you have most of the Filipinos that came are all professionals.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So nakikita ng mga tao, kailangan namin itong mga to. Kailangan namin ng teacher sa Cold Lake kasi walang teacher doon. Kailangan namin ng nurse sa ganito kasi walang gano'n. So it's needed, okay?
Right. Oo.
Bihira ang food service workers.
Right. Oo.
Very, very, I haven't seen it during my time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. At
Tapos
what point? Go ahead, Tita.
Nung nag-RCIC ako, yun ang trabaho ko.
Ano po, Tita, which one you mean?
Most of my clients are restaurants.
Oh, you mean you help those workers naman? Oo.
Yeah.
I see. At what point do you think, Tita, did things started to change? Yung profile ng mga immigrants coming in, not just from our community, no? And when did the
Last year lang.
Dito lang, yung
eh.
nagbago yung perception in a way, no, towards immigrants ng karamihan?
Kasi may mga, what do you call it? People that took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Without naming incidences, okay?
Yeah.
There are some people who took advantage of it. Some people came here on a study permit, hindi nagtuloy nag-aral.
I know, yes. Nako, that's a big problem.
Nagtrabaho.
Yeah.
Very few Filipinos did that. Nakita ko ang statistics eh.
Mm-hmm.
You can count on one hand ang Pilipino na gumawa nun. Primarily, ginawa nila yun dahil wala silang pera na pang tuition fee na.
Oo.
Hindi yun ang
Hindi yung intention nila tulad nung iba.
Correct. Hindi yun ang intention nila. So, no, I think ganun na nangyari eh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I'm hoping it will still turn around, you know, towards skills kasi marami tayong skilled eh.
Yeah. Oo nga. Yung clients mo, Tita, what do you tell them? I'm sure, one of their biggest questions is it still worth it to move to Canada in 2026? Okay pa ba lumipat dyan ngayon? Anong sinasabi niyo po?
Yung mga karamihan ng clients ko, they still want to come here because they have relatives here.
Yeah, with relatives. Yung mga wala pang kilala, okay pa po dyan lumipat. What do you tell them?
Ano sinasabi ko sa kanila? Make sure you're qualified.
Yeah, okay. What is qualified for you, Tita, kung ikaw ang tutulong? Ano ang mga best qualities? Ano ang magandang profile ng isang kandidato for
Look
PR?
what is in demand in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Look what's in demand and if you're qualified for that in demand.
Mm-hmm.
Kung meron kang skills na necessary.
Right.
Katulad niya, kunwari, earlier this morning, I spoke to a worker that's here. She was hoping, nani siya, na yung pilot project ulit ng caregiver para madala niya ang pamilya niya. So, ang sabi ko sa kanya, to prepare for this, anong ginagawa ng sama mo sa Pilipinas? Kumukuha po ng TESDA. Anong course sa TESDA? electrician po. Very good.
Alright.
Sabi ko, tsaka daw safety officer. Kasi dito sa Grand Prairie, marami kaming oil and gas companies. And they
Yeah.
need safety officers.
Right,
So, ang in-advise ko sa kanya, for the husband not to stop in safety officer 1 kasi hanggang 4 yun eh.
Okay.
Sige lang. Hanggang you get the certification so that by the time yung husband gets here, meron siyang TESDA na electrician, meron siyang, so there are options for them.
Yeah.
Don't just, kailangan may plan A, plan B ka.
Alright. O sige, tita, alam ko, no? Kasi half hour na tayo bigla. I know tita has tips for newcomers, no? Na-share niya sa akin to before we started recording earlier. And they're very interesting ones. Actually, yung una ngayon ko lang din na narinig. Sige, tita, bigay mo nga yung tips mo para sa mga newcomers.
Okay. Tiyempohin ninyo yung pagdating dito, hindi kalagitnaan ng winter.
Okay.
Dumating ako April 30. I could have gone, kinasal ako January, and my paperwork were done. Primarily, one, acclimatization. Magkakasakit ka sa lamig. Madidepress ka kasi nasa loob ka lang ng bahay. Okay? Another thing is, it is nice to see the seasons from the start. Makikita mo yung spring, summer, fall, winter. Makikita mo yung transition.
Right. That's a good tip. No? Pati yung body, no? Yung iba kasi talaga nasa-shock diba sa lamig?
Magkakasakit ka.
Oo.
Your body cannot take it. Right. You know? At saka, it's a nice feeling to you see everything that's flowing through.
Yeah. Oo. And your second tip, ito, nabanggit mo kanina, tita. Para dun sa mga malapit ng mag-claim ng kanilang, old age pension or CPP, which one, tita?
Yeah. Kahit na hindi malapit na, basta dumating ka rito,
okay,
make sure meron kang record ng COP, yung pagpasok mo dito. Kasi ngayon, nung panahon ko, you fill out of 4 pages na carbonated, tas ibibigay sa iyo yung last page on an onion skin paper. Mabuti, tinago ko yun.
Oo.
Nung nag-apply ako ng old age, hiningi evidence of your coming into Canada.
Do you know of people who had problems in their application dahil wala na silang record niyan?
Hindi ko na I think so, pero I don't know what they did.
Right.
Pero ako, at least, tinago ko yun kasama nung old passport ko. At saka nung tinago ko yun, hindi ko tinagong folded. Kasi you know how it is, onion skin paper. Pag finold mo, masisira na yun. Tinago ko nicely on a protection paper. Yeah. I don't know what it is, pero natago ko.
Yeah.
Ngayon, dahil lahat is virtual, lahat is online, we have a tendency not to save a paper copy. Anong gagawin mo kung nasira yung online mo? What
print
if
it out. Right.
Yeah, print it out. Save it. Ganon din ang sabi ko doon sa mga foreign workers ko noon. I don't know if you're aware, years ago, they had a fire in Slave Lake. I had some workers there.
Okay.
Wala silang kopya. Extra copy ng kanilang work permit na sunog yung bahay nila.
Oh no.
Fortunately, ang ugali ko ay save copies.
For your clients, right? Okay.
Yeah, yung mga workers ko. So, ang ginagawa ko ngayon dito sa mga bata ko, take a picture, put it on your cell phone, put it on your laptop, save a printed copy, a hard copy. Para meron, di ba?
All right. Yes.
Thank you. Look forward to, just in case.
About retirement, tita. Last question ko na to. About retirement. Maraming mga gusto sa Pilipinas. Iba naman, syempre dito. Kayo, ano ang choice, ano ang option, ano ang gusto ninyong gawin?
Dito ako.
Dito ka na. Pabalik-balik ka ba, tita? Do you go back and forth or hindi?
No. I have a son in Vancouver and a daughter in Ontario. Ako nasa gitna. Wala akong kamag-anak na sa Pilipinas. All of my mother's siblings are gone.
All right.
So, umuwi ako sa Pilipinas 2 years ago dinadala ako ng mga foreign workers ko, iniimbita nila ako. Tita, piyesta sa amin para makatikim ka naman ng piyesta ng ganito. Okay. Tapos, sa January, I will be going to the Philippines kasi 50th wedding anniversary nung isang batang dinala ko dito.
Oh, wow!
Ng parents niya. So they're having a family reunion and the whole thing. So, ang mangyayari, katulad nung nangyari yon, one of the siblings accompanied, kasabay kong dumating doon, another sibling kasabay kong bumalik dito.
I see.
Hey,
Pero
that's
gano'n na lang
advantage.
yun.
Huh?
For special occasions ka na lang.
Oo. Yeah. Pero you know what? Gustong-gusto nila kasi senior citizen ako, no? Meron akong wheelchair.
Okay.
At saka, meron akong assistant. Yung someone to assist me on the airport.
Right. Oo, pwede ka doon.
Oh, kasi nung dumaan ako sa LA, sabi nung nag-assist sa akin, where are your companions? You travel by yourself? No, my friends are over there. Call them. They're part of your group. Sinama ko sila.
Oh, sabit sila dun sa ano mo.
Sabit sila, kaya nga sabi nila, buti pala kasama natin si tita. Meron. Ang bilis kami, oh. Dire-diretso.
All right.
So, it's nice.
Okay, well, Tita Virgie, thank you so much for
I hope I gave your
sharing your
readers
stories.
information. And like I said, we'll be running the Filipino Language School again. And on June 14, the language school kids will be presenting a zarzuela.
Oh, okay. Nice.
The topic of the zarzuela is Philippine history.
Okay. No, it's good to see people making an effort to preserve our culture para at least laging buhay yung mga ano natin.
At saka, we have the big culture of respect, love, and it's really nice to do it.
Right. Okay. Well, Tita, thank you so much, and thank
You're
you
welcome.
for what
Thank you for reaching out.
Yeah, and for, of course, giving us a glimpse of what life was for immigrants noong 70s, no? Okay, if baka may viewers din tayo katulad ni Tita Virgie, we have something to share about life in Canada in the 70s or 80s, put them down there in the comment section. I'd love to hear your stories too. Again, thank you so much, Tita Virgie. We will end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.